Welcome to the open book, where every voice matters. Every story got layers, and every conversation opens something new. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective shows. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Late night talks with the smooth bass knocking. Whole room tuned when the topics dropping. Authors, culture, real life views. Open book vibes bring a whole new groove. No fake energy when the dialogue starts. Different perspectives play a major part. From page to podcast, the vibes stay deep. Real conversations every single week. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective show. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every chapter different. Every voice got purpose. Every voice got purpose. Turn the page.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. Make sure you hit that like button. Let everyone know we are live. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday morning so far. Also, this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Now, y'all, on this morning, we are going to go through a few things. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, there were some nefarious claims made by the officer Tatum, okay, involving Nolan Wells, y'all. My mouth dropped because it's sometimes the audacity of people. It seems like audacity is on sale, buy one, get one free right now for many people. So we're going to look at a snippet of that live from yesterday. Also, there are some content creators, child, that don't play with Officer Tatum, that were reading him his rights and breaking down some things. So we're going to tap into some of those content creators too, as they were pretty much roasting and cooking, okay? Cooking Officer Tatum. So, child, we will be thoroughly entertained. Now, we're also going to look at some of the MDMR incident reports that have been released. Also, special shout out to Plunder True Crime. I always want to say that, y'all, because some of these reports and like the dispatch calls and so forth, I've seen it on her channel first, a lot of these, and then it's like some of that is now being released on other channels. So shout out to that queen, for putting in the work and money, because she had to pay for some of these documents and audio. And so we're going to look at some of the incident reports. And as I was reading over these last night, there were new people's names coming up. And I'm like, wait a second. Now, Harpo, who these people? Okay, like, it's so many people, y'all, that were around or names are involved in this. Not saying that they've necessarily done something, but names involved. Okay. And so we're going to look at that as well. All right. So before we get into it, let's see who we have here so far. Hey, HGY is in the building. Welcome. Thank you for joining, sis, and thank you for being first. She said amen to the early live. Okay. Good morning, Buttercup. Welcome. I hope all is well. Mama 80s is in the building. Detective London, welcome, sis. Thank you for tapping in. Shamika is in the building. Hey, sis. Hey, Clarinetta, thank you for joining. T Lady Boogie is in the building. Welcome, sis. Thank you for being here. Hey, Delta Roots, good morning. Hey, Tracy, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Rose is in the building. Welcome. Shout out to T Lady Boogie for becoming an open book member. You were already family, but now you are a member. Hey, Cherry, so happy is in the building. Welcome. Good morning, Deidre. Hey, Sonia. Thank you, ladies, so much for tapping in. Valerie is in the building. Hey, Shauna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Delta Root said also Trent out loud at Funny Style too, because he thinks he the only one who can report it. Report it be some content creators that get all arrogant. It's enough room for all of us. You know what? And you are so right. It really is. That's why I try to stay tunnel vision, because what does begin to happen sometimes, especially when it's so much coverage of this, it can sometimes turn into like a competition. And let me beat this one to go live. Let me come over. Y'all were calling it out yesterday, talking about people in our bushes taking things we're talking about over here and using it. Hey, do what they do, child. Hey, if we get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan, let it be so, okay? Let it be so. We know we're about facts and evidence over here. We got a lot of detectives in the building. So we pretty soon we're going to start talking in code, because not from other people, content creators, but from the people there in the official roles, okay? That's listening to see what we know, so they can kind of counter their gameplay, okay, based off of what we've been talking about, because clearly we haven't heard any of their investigative research or any proof or evidence that they have so far, but they're listening to what we're doing and still being quiet. Okay, so yeah. Shout out to Broad J. Thank you so much. Grand Rising. Hey Sonia, okay. Hey Tangela, Tabitha, Ian, welcome, Connie. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start getting into it. Make sure y'all tap that like button. It is for free. All right, so the first thing I want to start with, I don't know, many of you may know Stephen A. Smith from the sports world. I know my husband, he doesn't like him because he always cracking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, the Queen's Den, welcome. But he had Officer Tatum on his show, and they had an interesting conversation. So I wanted to play a little snippet of what they talked about as it pertains to Nolan Wells.
They don't owe you that.
Well, which is fine. Well, don't act like you're trying to get to the bottom of something.
So again,
don't act like you're trying to get to the bottom of something.
Don't do the thing to them that you are accusing other people of doing.
He said he's trying to get to the bottom of it.
Don't make assumptions that
I'm not
for
assuming.
Them. No, you are. You're like, well, they're not doing this, and they're trying to make.
They're not reaching out to the boys.
They have not spoken to you.
They haven't spoken to the boys.
Charles. In fairness, at least answer this question. If indeed it's to be found out that there's been no attempt by whether it's Sharpton or Benjamin Crump or anybody else to reach out to the actual boys who were supposed to be in attendance with Nolan Wells, as Officer Tatum just highlighted, do you feel that that's the right path that they should be taking if they're raising suspicions, calling for a more thorough and open investigation, etc., and they haven't made personal attempts to reach out to these young men themselves? Do you think that that would be the right thing to do?
I can't think
to ask Officer Tatum's question.
Sure, I can't imagine that legal team would look to bring a lawsuit without having attempted to at least try to get some investigative answers from these boys. Now, when in this process they do it is a different question, because at the end of the day, the more information you have, the more informed questions you can ask. And the chances are you're not going to get multiple bites at that apple. So from a strategic place, what I can tell you is that, yes, I would fully expect that at some point they would endeavor to reach out to these boys, but it may not be this point, because they may be waiting for additional information so that they can actually ask better questions. They're not going to get multiple chances to do it. So when you do it, you want to make sure that you're doing it the best way you can. And the only way to do that is to have the information that you need in order to ask the best questions.
Charles, they drug these boys through the mother freaking mud. They put their faces online. Benjamin Crump shared this video or this picture of them in a swimming pool. That happened. That event was a week before July 4th.
Now, the thing of it is, the picture with the boys on the boat, Nolan's mother has already explained that. She said that's the picture that they shared because of the color of the shorts. Because at one point, they said that he had on black shorts. But then someone sent a picture, some girl sent a picture saying, no, Nolan had on the blue shorts. Okay. The picture in the pool, even if it was June 27th, a week before, okay, Nolan doesn't even look too happy in that photo. Okay, what was it's telling a story too when you look at that picture. So that was a week before the event. Was there some type of hostility or something that had up to the 4th? So you still have to consider it. I don't care if it was the 4th, the weekend of the 4th, or the week before. If you look at the picture, it's still something was not quite right. And if the whole story that went with the picture that we've been seeing, if any of that is true, then that was horrible. They need to look into it. Okay, if we're gonna go there about the picture. Okay, hey Brandy, do they have to though? Right, exactly. They're not detectives, but they do. Obviously, y'all, they have their own investigative team. Now, I don't know if y'all watched the video from yesterday, but Attorney Ben Crump's team, they have sent a letter to the judge, Ashley Cole, for a reasonably anticipated lawsuit and for her to preserve evidence. Okay, and they have a whole list of things like text messages, all of that, to not delete or overwrite anything. So the potential lawsuits are coming. Okay. Also, Nolan's mother has issued subpoenas for different platforms like social media. His TikTok are making moves. They may be quiet. Hey, should federal prosecutor take 2 years? I wonder. Uh, okay, I want to make sure I got an error message. Okay, let's continue.
He didn't do no due diligence to check with anybody before he started putting this stuff out there. Then what he do is he go, I had people saying that the argument was Nolan Wells asking for his phone back. He didn't talk to Tristan, who I interviewed. Tristan said on NBC, that was me, or ABC, that was me. That was not Nolan. But Benjamin Crump still to this day haven't came out and said, we found out that it was another young man. He pushed this stuff on these boys and they getting death threats. That stuff is not right. Benjamin should be more responsible. But the reason
I'm not here to talk about Nolan Wells' lawyer. I'm here to talk about why Nolan Wells is why Nolan Wells is dead.
But let's get to that. Let's get to the phones.
Go ahead.
The phones getting deleted. Because Al Sharpton came out there and said the mama had to go and search the phone down with GPS and Life 360. No, she didn't. The boy showed text messages, or the parents showed text messages of them communicating with his mom. She refused. And then they go and say they deleted. The boys say, the boys told me it could be not true or not. I don't know. They got to figure it out. They go, we didn't touch his phone. His phone went from the boat to the car with everybody else's phone. And when they came to get the phone, we got the phone out of the car and gave it to another young man's mom who came to get the other young man's phone. They said, we don't know Nolan's password. How will we get in his phone and delete anything? Now, why is them not coming on TV and saying there was no password or they had to get through his phone?
Let me ask you this question. Based on your investigation, I'm asking you this. I'm thinking of any parent that loses their child wants to get to the bottom of it. They don't care if the villain is white, black, or whatever. Their child is dead. They want the culprit. So when you see Al Sharpton eulogizing, and announcing that there's $100,000 reward. When you see that Tyler Perry agreed to pay for the funeral and put up half of the reward. When you see guys like Spike Lee and Terrell Owens in attendance, and Terrell Owens, I think, dedicated $25,000, if I remember correctly, according to the reports that I've read. And you see Benjamin Crump in attendance, and you're talking about civil rights lawyers being in attendance, like you just pointed out. My question to you, Officer Tatum, and Charles, you can follow up based on the answer that he provides. My question to you is, why do you think the parents decided to go that route, Officer Tatum, based on your investigation in terms of allowing all of those folks to be so intimately involved in this situation? What are your thoughts about that? What comes to your mind, particularly based on your investigation, talking to the actual parties supposedly involved?
There's two thoughts that come to my mind. One is that Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump are manipulating this family's trauma in order for them to make a crap ton of money. That's one. The second one is the parents trying to cash in on it.
Why is it that, and y'all let me know, can you hear me better? Y'all know I'm sometimes in the mornings in a choppy area where it goes in and out. Why is it that if people want to be there for a great cause or to discuss this topic or to help the family with this, that it always has to be about money? Okay, thank you, Shamika. That it always has to be about money. No, the thing of it is the whole situation is cringy and we don't even know what happened to Nolan. That's the whole thing. It's cringy how all of a sudden everybody has the stuff and don't nobody know what happened. For it to be thousands of people there, okay, we get this call and we're hearing them calling out his name in the background, which, everyone just cannot magically hear Nolan's name in the background, let alone, okay, we hear them saying, is he dead? Oh my God. But nobody can hear that. Some people are like, I can't hear what y'all are hearing. Okay. Y'all don't find that weird that no one can say what happened to him? If it was accidental drowning, that would have been the first thing they said. So because people are trying to get to the bottom of what is going on and bringing awareness to this, it does not always mean that everything is about money. See, when people say things like that, it actually reveals their heart. Okay. It shows your heart. And because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's what you feel. That's what you're doing it for. You're trying to project that onto other people. Okay. And if people are doing something for money, guess what? That's them. We can't change nothing about that. What is the main topic, though? The main assignment is to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. His own parents are saying that's all they want to know. All this other stuff, it's a distraction. Okay. Welcome everyone coming on in. So everything that we're starting to hear is clearly becoming a distraction.
It's because, and it's the reason why I say this. Why did Nolan Wells' mama say, I don't know these kids? These boys showed me pictures and video and text of them staying over his house, or at least the young boy Tristan, staying over his house multiple times. She went to school with one of the other boys' mama, graduated high school with her. They showed me the yearbook. Why is she saying this? Why Al Sharpton don't know this boy? Why is he eulogizing him at his funeral? Ain't never met Nolan a day in his life. You know, why are they saying we're going to give $100,000 to somebody who give us information to lead to an arrest? What if Nolan drowned? They don't care about him drowning. You know, and then also,
for the simple fact they couldn't even see his body was very telling when they discovered his body. Okay, so it's sad. It's sad. I'm glad that he said that. It's so sad that in order to get justice, that blacks have to offer a reward just for information, child. That's horrible. We should not have to offer a reward just to get some answers. We should not have to every day expose certain things just for them to look into. They should want to get to the bottom of what happened. Yes, that's horrible that we have to offer reward money just to get some answers. Okay, since you want to bring up the whole reward money.
Why we don't do this for any other young men who have lost their lives at the hands of other people other than white people?
Let's not do that.
Hold on, hold on,
we coming together?
Charles, I'm going to give you the floor, Charles. I'm going to give you the floor in a second. But Officer Tatum, it's one thing I want to make sure that I give you an opportunity to clarify, because it's one thing to feel what you feel about Benjamin Crump, Reverend Al Sharpton, etc. It's another thing entirely to lump the parents who just lost their child.
But I know it's
equation, talking about they're trying to profit.
I know
off
it's
this. You
sensitive,
sure you want to
Stephen A?
say that? Is what I'm saying.
No,
you sure you want to say that?
Let me be clear about this. You asked me what my thoughts were. I didn't say that
Yes,
that was
I did.
facts. I just said these are my thoughts based on a few factors, right?
Okay.
There ain't no reason for Al Sharpton to be doing that boy's eulogy when Al never knew him.
That's not even your call or your business
But
to make.
what I'm saying is that if I die, my daddy, if I die,
that's you. Respect the choices that family made.
Let him speak.
If I get killed.
Oh, Detective London, you just brought up a great point. She said, we didn't know they called Nolan no until they started saying stuff on social media. Lo and behold, the recording, someone said no, but the recording is incredible. Okay, come on now. Because remember, y'all, that goes back to that pool party story, that post. Okay, remember, I even asked y'all, I said, well, wait a minute, because his family would be able to verify this. Do they call Nolan no? This was before I've heard his mom and them refer to him as that, because that person called him no, even in the pool party story. Okay, now on the recording, you mean to tell me someone would go through and put a nickname and all of that into that audio? Like, that's what they call him. That means that's personable. Someone that really knew him to call him the no name. That is a very good point. Okay, thank you for tapping in and sharing that. I agree. They were fighting Nolan because they wanted to stop his shiny future. Okay. All praises to the Most High. Hey, welcome. And shout out to everyone coming on in. I appreciate you for joining this morning. Yes. Okay, rage baiting is very, hey, come on now. It's very obvious, the rage bait and the gaslighting, y'all, with these conversations and things, these comments that he's making. We can definitely pick up on that.
That family had a choice.
Why?
Who it is that? Why is that? They don't have to answer to you. That's not.
They
even
don't.
business.
But I have an opinion.
That's that family.
Okay.
I don't even understand why that family chose to eulogize their fallen son.
What is
any of your business to have any commentary about?
Well, you can't tell me that because it don't seem normal. It don't seem normal to me.
Anyone they wanted to.
It don't seem normal. It don't seem normal to me for a man that don't even preach sermons to do a eulogy for a boy that he didn't know.
Okay, we're going off the rails, guys. Time. We're going off the rails. We're going off the rails because Charles, I know you got to get ready to go. We're running out of time, so I'm just going to give this last question to the both of y'all. Officer Tatum, I'm going to give you the word, and then Charles Coleman, I'm going to give you the last word. What are your expectations of what is going to come of this when all is said and done, based on the evidence that we know? Charles, Officer Tatum, I'll go with you first. Charles, I'll give you the last word.
And I'll try to make this succinct. I think we're going to find that the law enforcement agency did a fair investigation, that they did things right all the way through the process, and that none of this will lead to any of what Al Sharpton them said it was and alluded that it was, and they will get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan, and it will be clean, it will be professional, and it will be the same result without the interference with activists and people out here hoodwinking. I think that they're going to find out what happened to Nolan, and it's not going to be Al Sharpton. It's not going to be Benjamin Crump. It's going to be the law enforcement agencies that go out and do this stuff every single day, that does an investigation, that's going to be forensically looked through the cell phone, that's going to interview 60 people and find out what happened to Nolan. And they're going to be able to say, was it somebody that did something nefarious to Nolan? They're going to be prosecuted. If Nolan drowned, they're going to let the family know he drowned. That's going to be the totality of this investigation, which didn't have nothing to do with this race stuff and had nothing to do with these activists coming out and making money on the death of another black boy.
Charles, I'll give you the last word because I know you got to go.
Sure. Thank you, Stephen A. I don't necessarily know what will come of the case. I am and continue to be invested in the integrity of the process, number one, so that it sets a precedent of getting to the facts and having objective information disseminated to the public in a way that's honest, truthful, and transparent. What I will say is that it's disappointing to sit and listen to Brandon talk about the same type of aspersions being cast on Benjamin Crump, on Al Sharpton, in the same way that they are advocating for answers for Nolan Wells, that he has railed against the same type of characterizations going in reverse. A split mirror image of the type of vitriol that you are decrying against the survivors in this instance being spewed at Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. And I don't necessarily think that that gets us anywhere, and it's not productive when you're talking about getting to the bottom of this and understanding what actually happened to Nolan Wells. So for me, I hope that the dialogue can be more tempered, where we're not trying to characterize people in either direction, but we're trying to insist on getting to the bottom of things and looking for the facts.
Spirited discussion, that's what it's all about. Two opposite points of view. But
Here. Now, I definitely agree, and I believe that a lot of the conversation goes off into being Crump and all of that to get us off track, which they can't get us off track over here. Okay. They can't get us off track over here, but to try to take the attention and focus off of the answers that we still don't have. Okay. My thing is, while y'all doing all this talking, making up stories, can y'all give the independent medical examiner Nolan's throat area? Can y'all get that toxicology report on over to them so they can look at some things? He had a list of questions, okay, that he wanted you all to answer. Have y'all sent over the list of answers? See, we're gonna stay on track, because all this other stuff, it just seems like it is now becoming a distraction. We're trying to look at Al Sharpton, Benjamin Crump. I haven't seen Al Sharpton since the funeral, so why are we still bringing him up? Okay, he's already explained why he is helping this family, but they are yet making this into a racial thing. No, I'm beyond the race thing. Okay, at this point, when we heard that background on that audio, that in itself was enough for them to start making some arrests. Okay, that's for anybody. Like I said the other day, take color out of it then if you want to. Remove the color. Do you not find it odd that a person that they said they were not with, okay, we now hear audio that that person was on that boat? You cannot deny the fact that they said Nolan's name in that audio. You cannot deny the fact that someone said, is he dead? Those two things, if you didn't hear anything else, stand out the loudest. Okay, so I don't even want to hear people come under my chat talking about the video. I don't hear what y'all hear. This is fake. Oh, this is AI. Y'all are crazy. Y'all know y'all hear it. You don't want to hear it. Okay, y'all want to hear stuff like this. So let me pull up, before I go to the other content creators that had something to say to Officer Tatum on yesterday. Let's go to some of the nefarious claims, this new claim that they now have. Okay, notice for everything that we bring and expose with the whole audio, y'all, how much more they're going to bring and pull out of the air. Okay, they are trying to, I can already peep the play, set it up to make it look like Nolan's death was his fault. And I already shared this with y'all the other day, that there's a lady on Facebook, Tammy, okay? And shout out to Detective London and T Lady Boogie. Thank you for being sponsors. I appreciate the jewels. She had already called this weeks ago, y'all, that she said that, you know, they are going to set it up where they're going to have alcohol and possibly some type of drugs on that toxicology report. She said, don't believe it. It was, she had said this weeks ago. So now seeing it in action, the moves that they're making now, all I could do was think back to what she said weeks ago. Okay, we're already starting to peep the play. This has happened in so many cases recently where they are potentially setting it up to blame certain Black men and women, okay, their death on them. not looking into it, doing a thorough investigation. But let's see, now that they got this audio, child, we got to make, what else can we come up with? Oh, we got new witnesses. Okay, let's put that out. Okay, oh, shoot, they still talking about it. Oh, let's come out with a rug claim. Okay, come on. What else y'all got? Oh, alcohol. Oh, he was drinking alcohol. And if y'all think about it, with Warren's interview, he was setting up the play that day. I don't know if y'all remember him saying, yeah, it was people said that they saw Nolan there around 6 o'clock. He said that during the interview. So now that it's coming out to the public, it showed me they were already setting the play during his interview. I peeped that. Okay. It's just now coming out into TMZ. They held that little card in their pocket though. See, right now they're holding cards in their pocket to see what we're saying so they can pull out a card. Let's pull this one out. Let's use this one. And nobody has anything to prove these claims. Okay, but they're just believing it because TMZ says it or the news says it. Oh, okay, it must be true. No, you need proof too. Just like y'all are telling us we need proof, y'all need proof too.
Taking in water when their boat is beginning to sink because it's anchored. It's happening right there. So for somebody to believe that this dispatch call is a desperate call with Nolan laying dead in the middle of their boat, that does not make sense. And to think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people.
Now, I also said yesterday, I said, what wasn't dead? It could have been, he could have passed out. Okay, we do know they were asking, is he dead at one point? Okay, so we still just trying to figure out in that moment, what was the emergency with Nolan? Because you're not going to make us think that we didn't hear what we heard. We heard, right, HGY, exactly, some cease and desist, yes. And Royal D was saying that as well, okay, at this point, because now it's getting crazy, y'all. I mean, with no proof whatsoever to put such claims out. So what was the emergency with Nolan? If Nolan was still on the beach there at the island, why are they saying Nolan's name in the background of a call? You're not going to make us think that we didn't hear Nolan's name during that call. What was that about?
I think is a disservice. But what I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's
most people have no idea they can get ready to post content the minute they stop recording with Riverside
involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine. And someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and hadn't been wrong about nothing.
Well, my thing is this, okay? This is my thing. just because you talk to these people, these boys, had interviews with these boys, what have you been able to prove? It seems as though a lot of things were being called in. Okay, thank you, Nurse M. Have a great day. A lot of things were being called in as we go through these reports today that were not verified. Just like the alcohol part. When someone made a phone call, and it seems that all people need in that city, okay, is to just call up the police and say anything, even without it being verified. They put it on the paperwork. So someone had already called ahead and said that, oh, his alcohol level was heavy. But y'all hadn't even found Nolan. Y'all hadn't even done a toxicology report, but yet that's on the report where y'all were already setting the stage for heavy alcohol. Now, just because someone has called him and said, oh, it wasn't just alcohol, it was this drug as well. Oh, well, I have no verifiable proof. These are people that you really just don't know. You went down there and met them. But I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out here to try to taint his character. And like Elle said, why, if he knew he had a whole big opportunity coming up that Monday, why would he indulge in something like that? For one, I've been looking through some of his older videos, pictures. Y'all, for one, it would really shock me if he had any alcohol in his system. I mean, but if he had a beer or something, hey, I mean, they were 4th of July. But rugs, we taking it there? Like, we really taking it there. Now, what scares me because of the lack of integrity that we are seeing, being that this medical examiner kept vital organs behind, I don't know what they would put down on a toxicology report, knowing that the independent medical examiner had not even seen one yet. So are y'all already setting the stage? Is this something that could potentially be shown now? We just throwing stuff out there? We have all kind of people calling. Y'all, we're going to see in this incident report that someone called and gave out a name to a young lady that they said was there when the MD, MDMR, when they called her to investigate. She said, oh, no, I wasn't there. I was actually at another island. I haven't seen Nolan in a year. Wait, what? So who's just calling, giving information? And it's the police verifying it, because Bart also was saying he hadn't been there. But hey, lo and behold, we hear his name in Warren's interview and through the call. So you have these kids playing games with the police. But yet and still, we supposed to believe that they called you and, oh, they have this truth serum and they're going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you the truth about everything. No, I don't believe that. And until you verify it, if I was his parents, I would issue a cease and desist, because now you're taking this too far. If the boys want to get on and tell their side of us, however, when you see that's taken, we're already kind of seeing where this is going to go. Okay. Now, there is a content creator. First one I'm going to play, More Flacco. I wanted to share a snippet of his conversation as it came to Officer Tatum. In this call.
You're gonna be forced. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge this audio, bro. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge that we're not letting you guys get away with it. We're not answering any other questions y'all have from us. Because whenever we have a question for y'all, is always, what? We don't know. That never happened. Nah. Millions of people heard that same audio, and millions of people said, we heard this too. So just because a few tap dancers ain't hear it and a few white supremacists ain't hear it does not mean y'all about to get to skate by and then quickly pivot a conversation. You peep how They get our evidence for wrongdoing and foul play. Then they quickly pivot from, nah, that's not true. And then they quickly pivot to, how about this? Nah, we're not addressing whatever type of skew out of context photos or whatever you guys, we're not addressing that. Address the audio first. Address why they were saying, oh my God, Nolan. Address why they were saying he's dead. Address why they were saying, get up.
Right.
Address why bro refused to answer the question when she asked, are there any, is everybody alive on the boat? Are there any alive adults on the boat? Answer that. Answer that.
Right there at Horn, Nolan was not on the boat during this situation. And if he was on the boat during this situation and there was an altercation that happened, everybody and their mama would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. The what ifs, right? We played what ifs with y'all for the last what? The last 2 weeks. We played what ifs with y'all. That audio has released, bruh. We not playing what ifs no more with y'all, bruh. We not playing what ifs with y'all. I understand the what ifs. We not playing the what ifs with y'all, bruh. Sorry. We not doing the, why would that audio say that if the audio said it? So now explain why it said it. Why would the audio say this if they were, the audio did say it. So you explain why the audio said it. Sorry. We're not doing the what ifs. It's not happening. We're not doing it.
And thousands of people would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island with 100 boats and thousands of people right there. But because people have a vested interest and confirmation bias, that no matter if Jesus Christ of Nazareth came out of the sky and said, these boys had nothing to do with Nolan's death, people will reject Christ Jesus and stop believing in it because they're invested in believing these kids must have done it something. Now, I'm not saying
You know what? Some people can come out and say, and they could confess and say that they did it, but some people still won't believe it. Jesus Christ himself could say, oh, they did it. Well, what excuse then? And you know, another thing I thought about, y'all, even with the judge, that screenshot of her allegedly sending him a message under his post on Facebook saying she sent him a DM. That to me makes you compromise. That's a conflict of interest. If you're having personal conversations with the judge, okay, that makes you already compromise, and it's a conflict because her stepson his name is all up in and through this. Okay, so that's something else to consider if she is inboxing you. Okay, that's a whole conflict of interest right there. So I thought about that too this morning.
if they did or didn't, I'm saying the evidence is showing that they were nowhere near Nolan when his life was taken. Whether it's a drowning or whether somebody killed him, these kids.
How he has softened up his stance, people. Yo, to understand this, how he has softened up his stance, that right there that's the tell-all sign you need. But we put in belt to butt. We have not softened our stance, not.
You know what? I thought about that too, Marva. Okay. The thing of it is, even if they were that close at one point and something was going on, we've seen the other picture yesterday. Okay. Remember when the boats were together, but they were a little further out? What happened during that time? Not when they were close and other boats are anchored, the video that he showed, but when the boats moved out and they were side by side. What was taking place during that time? And welcome, salute to everyone that is coming on in. Make sure y'all tap that like button. It is for free. Thank you so much.
Once. We haven't gone from, oh my God, Nolan Walls was murdered to, oh my God, Nolan Walls accidentally drowned. We haven't softened our stance not once. From day one, something nefarious and bad happened to Nolan Wells. Somebody did something to Nolan. We haven't softened our stance. As a matter of fact, every piece of evidence that have came out have only made our assertion stronger. Every single piece of evidence that have came out, every explanation of what happened that have came out have only made our confidence grow in our beliefs. But when it comes to the other side, when it comes to the white supremacists and Officer Tatum, How come y'all continue to soften y'all stance? It went from, man, there's nothing here. There's nothing that shows foul play. There's nothing that shows foul play. What are you talking about? It's gone from there's nothing that shows foul play to, man, listen, man, I'm not saying they didn't kill him. I'm just saying these white folks they didn't kill him. Huh? Oh, that's how far y'all have gotten pushed back? The bill got y'all pushing back that much? It's gone from there's nothing here that suggests foul play to I'm not saying he wasn't killed or something. No, I'm saying these good white folks didn't kill him. He had black friends on the island too. He had some black folks on the island too. What y'all mean though? No. Shut up. You know the raccoon chip is activating when you see this. Come on, bruh. Come on. This right here is how you know the raccoon chip has been activated. I'm not lying. When you see this, listen, go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos, okay? Go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. This is how you know the raccoon chip has officially been activated. When you see him do this, it's just like a raccoon. It's just like a raccoon. Yo, listen, bro. Have you seen a raccoon jump? Look, watch this, man. Raccoons, come on, bro. Fam, come on, son. Come on, son. You can't tell me. Come on, son. Hey, bro, you can't tell me. Hey, come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. You can't, listen, man. You can't tell me the raccoon chip has not activated at this point right here, man. This brother is working, okay? This brother said y'all would not blame these good white folks, man. Y'all would not, under no circumstances, blame these good white folks on my watch. Not on my watch. Y'all would not blame these good white folks who have done all these good white things. Y'all would not blame these good white folks on my watch. Under no circumstances. I was like, man, this brother is activated. Now he's in full action right now, man. Sir, relax, man. Brother, black man to black man, bro, you don't have to do this, sir. Black man to black man, Tatum, you do not have to do this, man. There's enough money in the world, bro, where you can come online, man, and simply do your content. You don't got to do this, man. This is nasty work, bro.
We're not there. How about we focused on other leads so we can figure out what happened?
Shout out to that brother. Oh my God, that part took me out. He said he fully activated. Now, another one that does not let him slide. And after this one, y'all, we're going to get into the incident report is Gentleman Den. Okay, shout out to that king. Y'all, I go over there faithfully in the afternoons just to laugh. He does not play with them. So I want to show a snippet of his live from yesterday.
He was staying with Katie. Let's run with that. Katie went home. Katie's sister went home. Nolan stayed back with Katie. So Nolan is just sitting on the fucking island, just looking around, like just looking at boats float away and decide, like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and chill and shit. I'm just gonna stay here and just, not gonna hitch a ride back home. And these people think that Nolan tried to swim back to land 10 miles, by the way. They think Nolan got inside of the lake and tried to swim home 10 miles. Nolan watched every boat leave that island and said, you know what? No, I ain't got to go home. I'll swim home, because they believe Nolan drowned. That's their narrative. They running with that. Nolan drowned. That's it. That's all. Nolan decided to stay on the island, watch hundreds of people leave him, and just sit there and just look at the island all by himself. Ain't nothing on the island, family. Nothing is there. It's just land. The Rangers came around 8 o'clock to make sure that everybody was gone. Everybody had to leave that island that night. They inspected the island. Nobody was seen. So how did Nolan get back to the same spot that y'all was getting told at? Yeah, I know this hard, Officer Tatum. I know it, bro. And when this shit come out, Officer Tatum, and hold on, wait a minute. And I want you guys to understand who we dealing with here. This the same man that justified the death of Sonya Massey. This is the same guy that defended that white devil shooting Sonya Massey dead in her kitchen. He justified that. And then he doubled down on it. After the officer received 20 years, his own partner that was there in Sonya's house testified and said, I wasn't afraid of Sonya. I wasn't in fear for my life. I was in fear of my partner. They gave his ass 20 years. You think Officer Tatum redacted his statement or he doubled down, family? That's who we dealing with. This is the type of individual that we dealing with. Let's go, family.
How about we focused on other leads so we can figure out what happened?
You don't care about what
somebody
happened.
may have been involved in it, and we're looking in the wrong direction.
No, we're looking in the right direction. You want us, you trying to distract us, Officer Tatum. You trying to distract us. You don't want us to look over here where Nolan was last seen, the group of people that he was with. You want us to look over here to some imaginary place, to some imaginary people. Like, where, Officer Tatum? Where you want us to look at? All the action is over there. Officer Tatum wants us to have our head in the corner. No, Officer Tatum. Our attention is in the right place. Those white boys that you are defending, you hell bent on defending them. Our attention is on them. It don't matter how much you kick, scream. It don't matter how much you jump up and down. It's not going to work. Our attention is on them, solely on them. By the way, shout out to Warren coming in with the $5 super chat. Tristan had absolutely nothing to do with nothing. He just dry involved himself. He done several interviews begging for white assistance. Still, nigga. And that's what I'm saying, Warren. When he was sitting down with Officer Tatum talking about all this backlash, I said, Tristan, you involved yourself in this. Nobody knew you, sir. Nobody knew you. You decided to insert yourself inside this case and say, hey, that was me fighting. You want to be accepted by these white devils who don't give a damn about you. You want to be accepted by these people. And from the looks of it and how you speaking, obviously you having trouble being accepted by them. Because if you was being accepted by them easily, you wouldn't be so offended. But thank you so much, Warren, with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you.
More than likely, nobody was involved in it, but we shall see. Right,
yeah, we shall see.
Debunking the audio.
Debunking the audio.
People doing enhancements. We got a whole segment here. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to go methodically through each individual step.
Let's get it.
TMZ's thing. We're going to play the enhanced audio. We're going to play the woman who enhanced the audio.
Yeah, I'm going to play it too.
And then we're going to listen to the full audio. Us. So y'all can hear exactly what is being said in its entirety. Full context. And I promise you, it's going to shock you that some of the things that's said on there, you got to wonder, the people that's highlighting certain moments, why didn't they put the rest of it in there? Why did they copy and paste these segments? You will find out here shortly. Here's the TMZ, a new update from TMZ. The young lady is reporting on it. Roll it.
Here with another development in the Nolan Wells case, TMZ has learned evidence apparently shows Nolan Wells was still on Horn Island after his friend's boat left. Sources with direct knowledge.
We already knew this. Warren and Tristan already said this. But y'all were, not y'all that's listening, y'all smart. I'm talking about your cousin them. They were defiant and saying these boys are lying and all this other stuff. And then now TMZ is reporting on it. Maybe you'll listen.
Show the proof. Show the proof. Show the fucking proof then. So TMZ is the arbiter of truth? Jessica, when you start believing TMZ, Officer Tatum? When did TMZ become the source? TMZ ain't coming with no facts. TMZ just running their fucking mouth. TMZ trying to run an interference. Like,
I totally agree. Y'all, TMZ was not even the first to play the dispatch calls. Okay. TMZ was not the first to play where you could hear the background calls. They want to be the first. I feel that they are compromised too in this situation. They will put out what they want to put out. When they released the calls, they were trying to blame it on other people, what it said, like they didn't want to stand on it, and they know they heard what they heard. They have experts. Let their experts listen to it. Okay, what proof do y'all have? No proof. They have not presented like, oh, these two people. Anyone, it seems, can call up there and say, oh, yeah, we saw Nolan at 6 o'clock. And now all of a sudden that narrative is out there. No proof, no pictures. No, we don't know who it is. Where are the pictures of Nolan? Like you had the one, I think he was Hispanic guy, which that whole video texture looked like it was from a old 50s movie. I don't even know who that guy is. I've never seen him in any pictures with Nolan. Where are the picture proofs? Does his family know these people? Have they heard about them in the town? So yeah, they are on something too. I don't know what's going on. Some people are saying allegedly people are being paid, okay, during this whole thing. So the judge inboxed him. Then he goes and got this coordinated interview with her son, but he's objective. He is a paid distraction. Tatum and TMZ running interference, okay? TMZ left out 20 seconds of the audio. They can't even confirm the audio. Right, exactly. I agree. They left out a lot. Okay, hey, the highest point, welcome. Trayson is involved by his own words, saying slick things to Nolan and the girl. Saying he felt bad for being drunk and out of control, felt guilty for treating him bad. Every time we hear a name and I go and I see if he's friends with the person, Trayson is friends with the majority of the people. Okay, he's a definite connection to a lot of these people. And he even called it, remember during his interview, that yeah, we're very tight-knit. We seeing how that looking out. Okay? Shout out to T Lady. Thank you much for being a support.
You trying to do? You trying to run an interference. TMZ is trying to run an interference. Hey, TMZ, that won't work. What y'all doing over there won't work. Nobody's looking for the truth from TMZ. TMZ haven't provided no evidence, no physical evidence. Officer Tatum, you haven't provided no evidence. Warren haven't provided no evidence that Nolan was left behind. Those imaginary witnesses that we don't even know if y'all made this shit up. Why all of a sudden, when the audio get released, two witnesses want to come forward and say, hey, I seen Nolan on the island when Warren left. Why would they say they seen Nolan on the island when Warren? How did they know that? How did they know to come forward and say Nolan got left behind? You see how stupid y'all sound? See, y'all getting caught up in y'all lies and it's making y'all look bad. TMZ is not a source, Officer Tatum. Are you stupid? This dude really believes TMZ is his source of the truth. TMZ said it.
Roll it.
Tell TMZ authorities have evidence suggesting Nolan was on the Mississippi Barrier Island after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which would mark a major development in the investigation. We're told at least two witnesses interviewed by law enforcement claimed they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland.
Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that, ma'am? Who told TMZ that? Where's your source? Tell us how y'all got this information. Because the district attorney said that she's not providing no information. The governor, the sheriff said they're not providing no information. So how in the hell do y'all know that two witnesses told the sheriff department that they seen Nolan left behind on the island? And if they seen Nolan left on the fucking island, why the fuck they didn't offer him a ride home? So they saying that they seen Nolan being left behind. How did they know he was being left behind? How did they know that his ride was still there? Who is these people? How did these witnesses know that Nolan was left behind? What if Nolan ride was still there? How did they know that? And why the fuck they didn't offer a ride home when they seen Nolan get left behind? How do y'all know Nolan? Do you know Nolan? Are you friends with Nolan? So if you know Nolan, you would have walked up to him. Hey, we finna head back to Lane. You want to catch a ride with us? So y'all just saw Nolan and decided to leave his ass on the island after the Rangers came and inspected. Y'all think we stupid? Y'all some fucking idiots. Y'all some fucking idiots. TMZ dumb as hell for releasing this dumbass information with no source. Believe me, bro. That's TMZ source. Believe me, bro.
TMZ also enhanced the audio from Nolan's friend's frantic call for help when their boat was sinking, and some people believe they can hear someone saying, "Is he dead?" But sources tell TMZ people on the boat who have heard the questionable audio believe the words being heard are simply panic during the chaotic moment the boat was sinking. Meanwhile, Nolan...
Man, look at that mind bucking his goddamn lips like that. What the hell is wrong with Officer Tatum? Bro, what the hell is wrong? Family, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Okay, wait a minute. You brought up a good point. Ian said who was the first person that said they were trying to get Natalia and Ava to do that. They didn't say what kind, whatever they were really high on. I remember you played that video. Yes, that was in that pool party story. Okay, where they said they were really high. Yes, that was in that her name, I think, was on the other, I think Alicia Spencer. Yes, whoever that person was stated that some of the boys were really high and tried to get the girls, Ava and Natalia, to do it also. That's why I still believe that story. Not that it necessarily had to be that same day. It could have been on the 4th. But the story itself, it was a lot of details, y'all. And I truly feel that it was some other stuff that they were indulging in my opinion. That's how you know they on BS. Purposely left the back end of that CETO call because it shows the captain and grandfather was communicating as at the exact same time as the CETO operator. Exactly. Okay, me too. Friend of the boys. Okay, what the hell, Tatum? Hey, Joski. Bottom line is friends not going to leave you without ensuring you got a way home. They don't just leave. Exactly. Okay. I'm telling you. Hey, Inspiration. Good morning. Child, that there.
Get your ass on, boy.
Bro, I got to use that picture. I got to make sure I screenshot this picture for a thumbnail. That boy, but that's how you know he's lying. He's performative. This nigga bucking them goddamn eyes. God damn. Bro, what the fuck is this? Bro, what the fuck?
Alleged best friend Warren Hudson says he last saw Nolan around 3 p.m. that day, but claims he spoke with someone who said they last saw Nolan on the island around 6 p.m. Hudson also insists his group was...
Who is the person that said they seen Nolan around 6 p.m. and didn't offer him a ride home?
Not the last to see Nolan, saying there were still dozens of boats around Horn Island when they left. Nolan was reported missing later that night and was found dead in the...
And you know what? And shout out to Gentleman Den. Y'all make sure y'all tune into him. He usually comes on about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Central. So y'all, he goes in. Okay. Pilot J, he brought up a good point. He said this beef had built up to this level of violence. Nolan should have not ever went to that launch outnumbered and surrounded by enemies. Ooh, y'all, I'm telling you, I don't think he knew what he was getting into that day with those boys, allegedly. Now, I will say, if that story or that pool picture was the week before, it could have possibly been something leading up to the weekend of the 4th. okay, in all of this. Because what we cannot take away is the fact that they called out Nolan's name on that boat and were asking, was he dead? Was there an emergency situation? Did he pass out? Like, what we're asking is what happened in that moment for them to question if he was dead or not. Okay, so that's what we're just wondering with the whole call. Since everyone, some people, I ain't gonna say everyone because we know what we heard, but some people have selective hearing and they can't hear anything. Okay. Let's see. In Javon's first interview, he said that group was known to do loving God, did he? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that TMZ interview. We never saw the results of who saw him at 6 p.m. yesterday once the allegation came out. No. We never saw that. Trayson is most likely involved. He said, went to TV to Wyatt's house that night. They stick together. He said that. He aligns with Warren and them. He was part of Taunton Nolan. He admitted that. Yeah, they can cover it up. All right, so let's get into this incident report. Like I said, shout out to Plunder Studios, Plunder True Crime, for these reports. This one is from the MDMR Marine Patrol. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button if you have not already done so, or you can double tap the screen. Also, special shout out and thanks to those that have sent jewels and or super stickers. If you would also like to support, you can send one of those, Cashapp or buy a coffee, and those links are in the chat. Okay, now let me pull this where y'all can see it. All right. Now, this is from the MDMR Marine report. Now, I find it odd, y'all, that they were trying to be a big part of this investigation, right? But we're going to see in this report that when they started making some leeway in talking to some of the potential witnesses, they always skirted them away. It was like, oh, we already talked to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. Oh, no, I already gave my answer to them. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to them. What is that about? Okay, because then the investigation, the MDMR an assist role. I wonder why. Because see, they were going to get to the part, they were going to try to get to the bottom, because see, it's not a conflict of interest. Okay, your kids are not friends, you're not close to the parents. But see, when you are, the sheriff in town, and Linda, and y'all kids play sports together and all of that, it's hard to get to the bottom. You probably feel like it's a conflict, right? Oh, okay. Now, here it says the reporting officer on here is Jacob Strickland. Okay, the day was July 13th, 11:25. And then it says when reported by telephone on July 5th, 10:05. Okay. The primary officer was Shay Smith. This location was the northwest tip of Horn Island. Hey, C-No, welcome. Ocean Springs, Mississippi. All right, so let's get into it. Now, it says on July 5th, 2026, at approximately 11:55 hours, Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, Office of Marine Patrol Master Sergeant Jacob Strickland received a call from Captain William Freeman to locate and interview a female subject that was possibly involved with the missing person on Horn Island. Okay. Then it goes on to say, Officer Jay Strickland reported to the residents of Laney Nequin, Pascagoula, Mississippi, who was initially reported to be on Horn Island with the group of people associated with Nolan Wells. Now, I had not heard of a Laney. Oh, we got a new character. Who is Laney? Now, when interviewed, Nequin stated that she had already spoken with Jackson County Sheriff's Department investigators. See, there we go. Okay, they had already gotten to him, had already talked to him, and stated that she was not on Horn Island, but in fact was on Petit Boy, I don't know if I said that right, Island, with a different group of friends. Then she goes on to state that she knew Wells, but had not seen or spoken with him in over a year. So who put Laney's name in this situation? Okay, who told them that Laney was around Nolan? Now, I'm going to bring this down for a second. Now, this is Laney NaQuinn, okay? All of them have pretty much privated their Facebook. But what I found interesting was Laney is also connected to Trayston Shepard. We see Trayston Shepard, who did the interview, who's all involved child kids. We already have one year utilizing his boat. He was there, not the okay. You said you're on the other island. Did they contact any friends in that other group that you said you were with? Am I going in and out? Let me scoot over some. Can y'all hear me better? Put a 1. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Hey, Real Talk No Chaser. Okay, thank you, Brandy. All right, because sometimes it gets a little spotty. Y'all let me know immediately. She said it was cutting out for a minute. Yeah, y'all let me know. Okay. T Lady, if you in here, sis, if you could just give me a thumbs up or something when let me know, a heads up, I should say. Okay, I'll repeat what I said. I'm trying to make sure I'm clear though. All right, so this is, you have to speak more for us to know. It's still buffering? Okay. What about now? See, when I get to this part, I start buffering. Now, what in the world? It's still choppy? Okay, Queen said 1. I hear now. Okay, I'm better before I continue. No, it's fine. Sugar Mama Main, I want y'all to let me know. Because sometimes in this area, I can't tell when it goes out. Okay, so this is Laney from the report that I just read. And I put it up so y'all can read it, right? So this is Laney. Now, I was saying that Laney is connected to Trayston Shepard. A lot of these people that we are hearing about, and when you check their friends list, thank you so much for letting me know, then a lot of them are connected, y'all. So Trayston is connected to Laney. Laney is saying that she wasn't at Horn Island, but someone put Laney there. But she's stating she was with a different group of friends at a different island and had not seen Nolan in over a year. Who put her there, though? Who put Laney there? Yeah, that's what she said. Okay. Who put Laney's name in this? That's what we want to know. So Trayston is one of her friends. Guess who else is another friend? Katie McCormick. Lainey and Katie are friends on Facebook as well. They're connected. Okay? They are connected. Thank you, Erica. Grayson said multiple people put Lainey there. Multiple saw her on the island that day. Now, some people were saying, hey, KG Summer, mommy is in the building. Welcome, sis, and thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Now, some people said that they heard two girls' voices in the background. I don't know for sure. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Linda. If it was Lainey or not. Is it possible that Lainey and Katie were there? Okay, right, Pilot J. We're just wondering, have you proven that you were on the other island, Lainey? Because you connected with two people there. Did they put your name in it? Katie or Trayston? I don't know. Somebody put your name in it because they came to speak with you. Okay, Lainey's name was out in the beginning, but people focused on Katie. Oh, really? It is what it is? I didn't know that. Shout out to Danita. Thank you so much. Okay. Who put your name, but you're connected to Katie? So I'm still trying to understand that part. Okay. You're connected to Trayston and you're connected to Katie. Now, let me remove that. Let's go back to this. Grayson said no. Supposedly Lainey was still on the island for hours after Warren, Wyatt, and company left the island. Oh, I wonder, since we're looking for proof about Nolan being on the island at 6 o'clock, has anyone seen proof of Lainey being on that island? Are we looking for any photos to the investigators to see if she was actually where she said she was? Because we're seeing some people are saying they are at certain places, but not that they're actually at Horn Island. So I'm just wondering because, hey, she said she was on another island, child. So did they verify that? Then it says Officer Strickland followed up on some other possible names associated with Wells that may have seen him at Horn Island that day. Jacob Woods of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, was not at home when Strickland checked his residence. Who is Jacob Woods? Another character unlocked. I don't know who Jacob Woods is. Okay. But when they went to speak with him, he wasn't there. Did they ever follow up and go back? Did they follow up and go back? Probably not. I want to know. Shout out to the highest point. Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that. And welcome as new members, the highest praise, Butterfly Empress, KG Summer Mommy, Inspiration, and Sneakers. Welcome to the Open Book members. You were already family, but now you are members. Okay, at this point, it seems names are being given in hopes of stories being corroborated. That's a good point, Beauty Forever. We just throwing out names of potential people that may speak up on the same narratives. It's given the Carmelo Anthony teens that testified. They all had pretty much the same testimony using the same type of buzzwords. Okay, that's what is given. Let's all get on one accord. We just watched last night with the Tyrone Davis case, body cage. The officers pretty much knew that Lulu's story did not match. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, make sure y'all check it out. But they literally on body cam footage stood around and filled in the blanks and came up with the story that did not make sense and said, oh, okay, that's what we're gonna go with. That's how bold some of these officers are. They will just go with the story with no proof, no evidence, no thorough investigations. We're just gonna call it an accident. This man actually jumped from a moving vehicle with no evidence of that. That's what they went with and said it was accidental. Okay, so we're just seeing some of this in real time, even with this case. Did y'all ever follow up? Who made the call that these people were involved? Okay, so then they said Officer Strickland reported to the residents of Drew Johnson, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. No contact was made. Who's Drew Johnson? We haven't heard that name. Uh-oh, new character unlocked. Where are all of these people coming from? So we have Delaney. Delaney is connected to the Trayston. Delaney is connected to the Katie McCormick. Okay, so hold on. Let me pull up. Drew Johnson is connected to Delaney as well. What? So were Drew and Laney there? Did they? How do they know each other? I just want y'all to peep the connections. Even if you're Facebook friends and you may not know the person too well, hey, you're still Facebook friends. You know of these people. Y'all connected in some way. Okay? Drew Johnson. All right, let me pull up another one. Drew Johnson is also connected to the Javon. I'm exhausted with all of these connections. So Javon also knows this Drew Johnson. They're Facebook friends, which is Javon is also a close friend of Nolan's. Javon, who is Drew? Because we're hearing now names that we have not heard throughout this whole case. So Drew and Javon know each other. Okay, let's continue. Drew Johnson and Jalen Harper know each other. Now you may say, well, who's Jalen? I was wondering too. Jalen is actually a friend of Nolan's that was at the funeral with Javon. And they're all in that picture posing by the casket. So Jalen Harper is also connected. Right, Ian, we will be able to see even more, accurate. But the whole point of this is to show they know of at least the people. Who are they friends with on Facebook? So they can't say, oh, I didn't know that person. No, you found them some way. Y'all are friends on Facebook. Okay. But I don't have their Snapchat. Maybe they were on the other two boats. Possibly. Okay. Then Drew is also connected to Trayston. That's not the same Jalen Brandy. I think it was his name was different last name. It was a different one. Okay. Trayston's everywhere. Trayston's everywhere. And that's something that, remember in the beginning, y'all, we were saying, who is the link to the sides? I believe a huge link and the people that I'm seeing connected to the majority of the people will be Trayston and Katie. I'm seeing them connected to a lot of different people. So they could not, according to their report, no contact was made with Drew Johnson. And I don't know if they ever followed up. Okay, Jacob wasn't at home. I don't know if they ever followed up. What do they know about what happened to Nolan Wells? They need to verify Lainey Naquin's story that she was somewhere else. How did they verify that? And every time people want to get information, when they went to interview, they're always saying, oh, I spoke to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. So I'm asking you a question too, because I want to make sure you're giving me the same information. Hey, Brittany, I want to verify that you're giving me the same information. That's how you can tell people are lying. If you really want to get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan, then multiple people need to investigate so you can make sure that's true. So I don't care if you spoke with the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. I'm asking you a question on behalf of the missing person report that we have. That's how even last night when we were going through Lulu's story, she had shared with the paramedics one thing, but she had shared with the police officer something else. And they were like, okay, so which one is it? That's how you catch people up. Multiple people need to interview them. Because I don't know if you're going to play favorites over here because y'all stay in the same town and know each other. I don't know if you're going to ignore some details. It's all in the details. Yeah, he was your love. Maybe Trayston tried to fit in when he moved there and wanted Nolan's spot in the group. That's what I was peeping, Marcy, the artist. Did he want to take Nolan's spot in the group? You know a lot of people that's potentially just involved as far as like their names being mentioned. Then it says at approximately 16:30 hours, Officer Strickland contacted Wyatt Pyron's mother, Jennifer Pyron, who stated that Wyatt had already spoken to the Jackson County Sheriff Department investigators earlier in the day. What? They pretty much got to everyone, y'all, before they had a chance to get to them and speak with them. Notice that? Notice that whole pattern? They had already spoken with them. A lot of these witnesses. They got to them first. Then it says, but would cooperate in any way that they were needed. Officer Strickland was given verbal consent to view the Garmin GPS on Pyron's vessel. Officer Strickland observed the track lines showing Pyron's vessel location on Horn Island to narrow down the search area for Wells. The GPS displayed that the vessel was located, near the western tip of Horn Island for the date of July 4th, 2026. And it gave the coordinates. Officer Strickland, here we go, was notified that Jackson County Sheriff's Department was taking lead on the missing person investigation. MDMR officer would be in a supporting role for the remainder of the investigation. This is how you keep it in-house. Okay? They were keeping it in-house. They didn't want this agency too involved. I don't want y'all to take the forefront or level with this, but y'all could just assist. They took the forefront. Okay. Sneaker said, read it again. Which part? The last paragraph? Officer Strickland was notified that Jackson County Sheriff's Department was taking lead on the missing person investigation. MDMR officer would be in a supporting role for the remainder of the investigation. Brittany said one of friends, I think that one of them will talk under pressure. The police officers can find a way to get them to talk. We hope so, Brittany. What makes things more complicated is that these kids' parents are doctors, judges, and owners of companies, so they can pull power moves with every so-called witness. That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's the hard part, Phenomenal Scorpio, right there. Yes, they could, y'all, that makes it harder for people to want to talk, because if you have people in high positions and your parents are working and all of that, that makes it harder. Good morning, Grandma and Bryson. Welcome. You can view Trayston's player profile page for his soccer stuff. He also plays in some overseas development program or league. Got you. Oh, the GPS part. It said Officer Strickland observed the track line showing Pyron's vessel location on Horn Island to narrow down the search area for Wells. The GPS displayed that the vessel was located near the western tip of Horn Island for the date of July 4, 2026. Okay, now give me 1 second. Okay, let me show this one. All right, so this was said on, the reporting officer for this one was Bryce Gex, July 13, 1258, okay? It says on Sunday, July 5th, at approximately 8 hours, Lieutenant Colonel Bryce Gex and Captain Jack Ewing with the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources launched patrol vessel Admiral Dewey at Biloxi Small Craft Harbor. Officers aboard the Admiral Dewey traveled to the northwestern tip of Horn Island in search of a reported missing person on the island. It was reported that an 18-year-old black male, Nolan Wells, did not return home from Horn Island the evening prior with the other people aboard the vessel. Wells' last known reported location was the northwest tip of the island. Hey, Candy Girl Pink, welcome. Okay, hey, Karen Michelle, welcome, sis. Upon approach of the island in the channel, a vessel signaled intent to speak with officers Gex and Ewing. Okay, aboard the vessel was Wells's former high school coach, later identified as Lex George, and Wells' parents, later identified as Christine and Elmore Wansley. Officers Gex and Ewing introduced themselves and exchanged phone contact information with George to stay in touch during the search. George explained that they and other private citizens have been on the island on the northwest tip looking for Wells. Gex and Ewing started an initial search of the southwestern shoreline and dunes to rule out any possibilities. Wells ended up there overnight. The search of the southwestern side produced no results. Gex and Ewing began to search by vessel the waters surrounding the northwestern tip, looking for any signs of Wells. So I want y'all to pay attention. They were really, really searching that area. Okay. That's what makes it odd that his body was found 2 days later in the very area that they had thoroughly searched on the 5th. Okay. At approximately 9 hours, Gex called MDMR Captain Will Freeman, captain over investigations for drone search capabilities to respond to the island to assist. Observed search efforts in the area were National Park Service, multiple Jackson County vessels, Biloxi Nefarious vessel, a Civil Air Patrol plane, and a Jackson County helicopter. Multiple privately owned vessels and their crew assisted in searching for whales also. Approximately 12:30, Gex and Ewing returned to the mainland to refuel. Captain Freeman, Lieutenant and Investigator Shay Smith, aboard patrol vessel number 8822, stayed near the northwest tip of the island and continued to run drone searches for whales. Y'all, they were searching high and low. They had multiple boats out there. They even had drones out there. That's why they mad at the mom, because she wasn't trusting them. And I don't blame her. Right. Y'all ignore the trolls, Brandy. I do. I start laughing at them. If I'm in other chats, child, I laugh. Because, I mean, I can tell when people gaslighting and just trying to rage bait or race bait. So just ignore it, y'all. Tracy did whatever those boys asked to fit in their group. In my opinion, Bart being 21 bought that liquor on the boat. Okay. And chopped it and cut it to make it look like it was just Warren and the dispatcher. Wow. The news is full of ish. Oh, yeah, we already know. We already know. The highest praise said roll call of the names I've heard called thus far: Laney, Jacob, Bart, Katie, Drew, Will, Eric, Trayston, Javon, Jax, Warren, Wyatt, 2 female voices from the CETO call that could be stated above. Come on, clock it. The highest point. Okay. Hey, Monica. Welcome everyone coming on in. Okay, I said that one. Admiral Dewey is that slow cop from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Can't make this. Okay, Ian. I think they got a lot of people to cover up the crime. I pray they don't get off, but I don't know. They doing some shady-ish. Okay. Y'all, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Javon was not with them on the boat. He was not close to Warren Wyatt. He warned Nolan to be careful. He helped, well, Trace Carter said he warned Nolan to be careful. But Javon did meet up over there to go out to Horns Island with them. He may not have been on the same boat, but they left from the same boat lunch. Okay. Warren called Javon to get Christine's phone number based off of his interview. Yeah, lock them all up. Hey, Tammy. It's so sad. All right, let's see. What was the next page? Give me 1 second. Okay. Where's the next one? Okay, so this one says, this is from reporting officer Shay Smith. It says on Saturday, July 4th at 23:49 hours, Mississippi Department of Marine Resources Lieutenant Patrick, excuse me. Hey, Latte. Patrick Caron, or Caron, I don't know if it's probably Caron, was advised by dispatch of a caller. Of a caller reporting a missing male, Nolan Wells, on Horn Island. The caller told dispatch her 18-year-old son rode to Horn Island on a vessel with friends, was last seen around 1500 hours. His phone was in a friend's truck, and all the friends said they had returned from the island. Based on information provided at the time, Caron asked dispatch to forward the reporting party, Christine Wells Wansley, here we go, to Jackson County Sheriff's Office. See, they are the facilitators of information and getting all of these tips and to make an official missing persons report. Shortly thereafter, dispatch advised the reporting party was calling JCSO and that the United States Coast Guard had been notified. Welcome everyone coming on in. Shout out to Caramel Shell. She said, imagine how things would have went if mom and dad didn't put their foot on Mississippi's neck. Okay, you better clock it. Shamika also said this case has more twists and turns than a Six Flags roller coaster. It has me on an emotional roller coaster. I pray for peace and justice for the family. Right, I agree. Then it says at approximately 1:38 hours on July 5th, Karan spoke with Ocean Springs Police Department regarding the complaint and advised that JCSO would be taking lead on the case. Once again, y'all, they wanted to take the lead on this case, but then we ain't hear nothing. Okay, what work are y'all doing? That's what we want to know. Karan also spoke with JCSO Lieutenant Odom, the shift supervisor, who said they had taken the initial report. He said his deputies had spoke with several friends we saw that traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan, and that when they left, he was in the company of an unknown female. What you mean unknown? Y'all been saying her name? How come y'all didn't tell the police her name? Was it Katie? Was it Lainey? Now I'm starting to wonder which female, because it seems like somebody gave up Lainey's name. But right here it's saying an unknown female. Why is she unknown? And that he chose to remain at the island. Based on the information provided, Odom did not have reason to believe there were any water-related or emotion. And he believes it was Nolan rolled in on another vessel, but did not have his phone in his possession to make contact with family. No further action was taken Karan or his shift the morning of June 2nd. He did the same thing pretty much. He came up with his own conclusion of what happened, and they stopped the search. What do you mean? Did you verify it? You sounding like Warren. Warren said, "Oh, I just thought that he was sleeping on somebody's couch." And here you have an officer putting together a whole scenario. He believed the most likely scenario was Nolan rolled in on another vessel. Whose vessel? Whose? But did not have his phone in his possession to make contact with family. No further action was taken. Y'all didn't even verify that though. Whose vessel did you assume he rode in on? And how do you know that? Okay, and my thing is, you're saying that he didn't have his phone, but did you check the reason why he didn't have his phone? Did you look more into that situation? Are we just guessing scenarios and gonna go with that? That's how we get, oh, we don't think it's any foul play earlier on. Oh, this was just an accidental drowning. We ain't got to look into nothing. Then it says that approximately 1800 hours on the evening of July 5th, Karan reported to the command posted established by JCSO at Lake Mars Pier and assisted with efforts. So then they started picking up the search again, to include sending a MDMR patrol vessel and crew to the northwest tip of Horn Island to conduct sonar surveys of the area. The sonar surveys were inconclusive and terminated due to adverse weather conditions. Wow. Let me see what y'all saying. Remember, Tracer said they took their boats out there to look for him and was told by law enforcement that they had to leave. That could become important later. Right, loving God? That's true. Because see, now we're seeing they shut it down early in the morning. That's why you didn't want anybody else out there. Come on now. You better put that together. Okay? Y'all didn't want nobody else out there. Y'all had stopped looking. It appears based off of the paperwork. Because y'all had a whole scenario in your mind. Oh, he just went, he must have gone back on another vessel. But by then, you should have known that for sure. It was July 5th. Did you find out which vessel he came back on? Did you find out why his phone was with somebody else? Like, we got to make this make sense. Let me see what y'all saying. It was reported that from the area the call was made to Cito, the grandpa who owns a boating company, was about a mile away. So the grandpa was right there. Oh, wow. So it wasn't that far away. These police officers or authorities are so daggone lazy. They don't want to do their jobs properly. But would he have been with someone? Yes. He knew they had a phone. Yes, exactly. And when he asked someone to contact the people with his phone, how come even if he didn't have his phone, why would he say, hey, bro, can you call my mom? Because, you know, I'm out here, or call Warren or someone. I think makes sense. Okay. Make it make sense. I'm breaking up again. Thank you, Brittany. Is that better? That's all we're saying. It's not making sense. Latte, is my sound better? This is the incident report from the Marine Department, from the MDMR, Marine Patrol, the incident report. Put a 1 if the sound is better. Brittany said it was breaking up some. Okay, let's see. That's crazy work. Okay, thank you, Latte. Okay, let me see if there was another page. Thank you, Cherry. Okay. Then it says, okay, this is July 13th, 7:38. He wrote this on July 5th at approximately 9 a.m. MDMR Lieutenant Colonel Gex requested drone assistance from MDMR Captain Freeman as part of the search and rescue for Nolan Wells at Horn Island. MDMR Lieutenant Matt Cashapp transported Freeman by vessel to Horn Island. At approximately 10 a.m., Freeman attempted 3 launches with no success. So you mean to tell me, with all of this, y'all, Nolan's body wasn't in view? With all the booms, with the 3 launches, everybody searching around, his body wasn't in view? But then mysteriously, on the morning of July 6th, his body is right there on the shoreline, positioned like he was sleeping. Make it make sense. They did a lot as far as the search. A software issue was identified and unable to be repaired in the field. At approximately 10:30 a.m., Freeman requested Senior Master Sergeant Shay Smith report for duty with additional drones. Freeman and Cashapp picked up Smith and transported him to Horn Island. At approximately 12:40 p.m., Smith launched the first drone flight. The launch location was 30, well, they gave the coordinates. The search area was approximately 0.1 square miles and consisted of a parallel search pattern. The second flight launched at 1:22 p.m., then the coordinates. This search area was approximately 0.1 square miles and consisted of a parallel search pattern. The second flight ended abruptly due to a battery separation from the drone. Lord. The excessive heat caused the lithium ion batteries to swell. Further flight attempts were canceled due to excessive heat. Nolan Wells was not located during either flight. Wow. Okay, let me see what else. Okay, here's the next one. TCP said the background audio could easily be debunked. The people in the background can come out and say, hey, here's what was really said and debunk this, but they haven't. Right. They haven't. Okay. Pilot J said, at first I thought July 4th because where they found his body is a straight line almost from where the boat coordinates were given to CETO dispatcher. Yes, exactly. That's what makes it so. All this drones days later in the same spot. It probably, y'all, it was a little too perfect. It probably would not have been as obvious that something else is at play here if maybe they had placed his body kind of where the currents could have looked like they took his body to another side or somewhere else. But for the simple fact that y'all put allegedly that body back in the same area, I won't say that they put, because I don't want it to be like I'm accusing, but for the simple fact that his body was there. Thank you so much. His body was there in the same area after drone searches and other type of searches. That is very, very suspect. Okay, to be the least. Okay, very suspect. And they had done all of that searching. Okay, so this one says on July 8th, 2026, at approximately 13:41 hours, Jackson County Captain Kristen Johnson requested GPS file download assistance from MDMR Captain Freeman as part of the search and rescue for Nolan Wells at Horn Island. Officer Shay M. Smith was assigned to download data contained on vessels MI 1295 CBI 4088. On July 8th, at approximately 16:09 hours, MDMR Officer Shay M. Smith meets with Bart Edmiston Jr., located, and they have his address redacted, in Ocean Springs. Edmiston provided Smith, I'm breaking up again. Okay. Thank you. Y'all quicker. Is that better? Look, I like to fix it, y'all. I'm sorry. It's where I'm located, child. It goes in and out sometimes. Okay, is that better? Thank you, Jeremy. Let me make sure y'all can hear me before I continue. Put a 1 if you can hear me better. Okay, Lainey is trying to disconnect herself from them. Yes. Monica, is that a little bit? Okay, thank you, Walt. All right. So Edmiston provided Smith with a driver's license. Thank y'all so much. With a driver's license, okay? And boat registration card. Edmiston signed the permission to search form and escorted Smith down the pier. Vessel MI 1295CB was in a boat lift on the north side of the residence. So they had put it into a boat lift, y'all. Bart's boat. The vessel contained a pair of Garmin GPS map chart plotters and wired for sonar, waypoint, and chart sharing syncing. Smith inserted a 32 gigabyte card into the unit and followed the prompts to copy data to a memory card. A single ADM file was downloaded and labeled, and she put the name. On July 8th, at approximately 17:10 hours, MDMR Officer Shay Smith met with Jerry Atkerson and Jennifer Pyron, located at blank in Biloxi, Mississippi. Atkerson provided Smith with a driver's license and vessel registration. Atkerson signed the permission to search form. Vessel, the name of the vessel, was in the driveway of their residence. Okay. So Bart had his in a boat lift on the north side of his residence. Jerry, the grandpa, they had that boat in the driveway. Okay. The vessel contained a Garmin GPS map chart plotter. Smith inserted a 32 gigabyte card into the unit and followed the prompts to copy data to a memory card. A single ADM file was downloaded and labeled with the boat name. On July 9th, at approximately 9 hours, MDMR Officer Shay Smith made a working copy of each of the ADM files. Smith used Garmin Home Port to open the files, and each contained the following. So it just kind of shows, let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay, y'all can see. Okay, so it just shows like what all was downloaded from those GPS data. Let's see, Tabitha said open book, if Katie and Bart was together and she was with Nolan that day, maybe that's what started the fight. Warren said he saw Nolan hugging Katie and laughed and told him he was crazy. Yeah, we just never know on that part. A lot was being done by these evil teenagers. They manipulated everything and violated Nolan and violated his body even after death. They need prison for life. Man. All the stops that boat made after sinking. Unbelievable. Right. Exactly. Okay, let me see. And then we kind of went GPS. They're going to look at that today. We can tap back into that. Let's see. I think that was the last page I wanted to share. Okay, I think that's the last page. And like I said, shout out to Plunder Studios for those documents, but that did give us more information about what has been stated. More players in this, y'all. And we don't know if Jackson County sheriffs had spoken with Jacob and Drew, because when the MDMR officer tried to, one was not at home and they just said they didn't make contact with the other. They didn't say why. Okay, that's suspicious. Law enforcement placed Nolan's body on the beach. Cajun had just checked the area a few hours prior and he wasn't there. Exactly, it is what it is. Because he said that. He said they were flying overhead and they did not see Nolan. Okay, then all of a sudden they see the body. That's weird to me. When he circled back, he saw numerous law enforcement. He sure did. I think there was some unspoken beef between Bart and Nolan. I've had large friend groups before, and sometimes you don't get along with one of them. They're a friend of your friend, but not your friend. Yeah, that's true. That's Purpose, Nikisha. That's so true. Everybody doesn't get along regardless of how the friend circle met or the Coast Guard placed him or whoever found his body. They said a park ranger did. So was the park ranger just sitting out there? Hey, Janet. They during all of that, when they need to just tell what happened. Right, exactly. Neo said, trust and believe that this situation will produce the results that Nolan's so-called friends were not his friends long before you know how his body got there. And you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because it's a point that I was trying to make earlier. I forgot when we were looking at the Officer Tatum video. I need him to quit saying his best friends, his friends. Because Trayson doesn't even have pictures of him and Nolan anywhere on his paper. He have a whole Medea picture. Okay. Your best friends don't ways. I don't call those people friends. They may have been associates, but not best friends. So throwing that word out there to try to make it look like, oh, his best friends wouldn't hurt him. Child, this is way further from any type of best friend connection. Okay. Y'all had his phone. Even if you had thought Nolan was asleep on the couch with his phone, you should have called his mom and said, look, is Nolan there? He left his phone over here or something. Okay. You calling Javon and trying to see with your friends where he at before y'all even let his parents know. Oh, and let me not forget the infamous Coast Guard call, which I still question. I don't know if that call was made or not. Because at one point they didn't mention the call. It wasn't until people heard that, then they went backtracked and said, oh, we forgot there was a call made. No, I don't believe it was a call made, in my opinion. I think that was an alibi call. And see, when you have so many people on board, this is crazy. But you didn't want Coast Guards there when y'all were in an actual emergency. You care about Nolan that much now. Okay. Bart a punter. Nobody likes punters. Not nobody likes punters either. So there's already possible jealousy of Nolan. Oh, and they played football together in school too, y'all. At the Ocean Springs High School, Bart and Nolan played on the same team at one point. I don't know if y'all had heard that because there's a picture of them together. Now he's taking the girls. So the CISO call was made at 3:58, right? I thought it was 4:31. Jerry Atkinson knew before the call was made. We also heard a voice say, yes, he's dead. So he likely died sometime between 2 and 3. See, I don't know if they were really questioning. Okay, Brittany, have a good day, or if they had really confirmed that he indeed was. You see what I'm saying? I do know he was in some type of emergency situation where they were questioning whether he was dead or not. So that part, I don't know. Everyone's distancing themselves from 3 o'clock. Bart was in 2 places at the same time because he said he had not been there in over a year. Exactly. It's far too many lies being told for them not to have planned what happened to Nolan in advance. It just didn't go quite as they planned. So now they're coming up with extra cover-up tactics. Come on now. But God. Remember Warren and Wyatt left Nolan at Wyatt's house that morning and he had to get a ride to the dock. They was trying to leave him. Uh-oh. Better clock it. I almost wish he didn't go that day. You know what I'm saying? When you think back in hindsight. It took a park ranger to find the body instead of drones. Come on, Monica. Okay. I wonder if MDMR and Jackson Police Department are at odds with each other. And perhaps MDMR works more persistently while Jackson takes his time. I think so, loving God. I think if they had continued on the case and had more of the main role in this investigation, I think we would have gotten to the bottom because, see, I don't think it's as many conflict of interest with them. See, Jackson Police Department, those are the people that know each other in town. When you have another party that there's not a conflict of interest, you probably get more information, but they didn't want that to happen, in my opinion. Think about it. If a private boat had been sitting there let's see, that would be suspicious. But if you see numerous law enforcement boats, you wouldn't think that's odd. All of them helping the kids. Yeah, why would he call the Coast Guard? Seems they were just acquaintances, right? Nolan's bloodline, his talent, sending a message. Someone wanted his position. They thought he was too good for them. Sweet, gentle soul. Nolan was driven and wouldn't partake. Yep, I could see that. He wasn't on the boat, idiot. And of course, they didn't want the Coast Guard there. They were underage drinking. Oh, who was he talking to? He was talking to Warren them? Is that who he's talking to? I think Ronnie was talking to them, calling them idiots. Okay, we agree. We agree, Warren him. Yeah, they were acting like idiots that day. Underage drinking? Like, who does that? Okay. Warren said to Miss Christine, do you want me to call the Coast Guard? Interesting. Me too, OB. I most definitely think it was an alibi call that backfired on them. They're not smart enough. They're dependent on their corrupt parents. Right. Wait, I thought Miss Christine said she never talked to Nolan's friends. Now she asked her if he should call Coast Guard. They didn't want the Coast Guard because they moved fast, and if they were to agree, the Coast Guard would beat them to the GPS coordinates and find them not there. Ooh, that's a good point. Hey, Miss Josephine. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Of that audio. I guess you meant if that audio is legit, he doesn't have to push it. It's making its way. We're making sure we play it all the way around. But, why would he do that when you have people that are going to say, I don't hear what y'all hear. Like they can't hear Nolan's name being called. And especially the two main things you hear really clearly, Nolan and is he dead? Now, why would they be saying that if Nolan was not on the boat? Like, people, think. Come on, like that's crazy to try to ignore that. What did you say, Marcy? Why didn't they call Javon or so-called best friend Tracy to give them Nolan's phone when they got back? Okay, Jerry called back to state they obtained other help. Got you. Yeah, they do know each other. Hey, Karen, good morning. Right, Brandy, obsessed. Because, see, they wanted these parents to just be out here with no help. So they could just automatically have said this was an accidental drowning. But because there's another layer of people, and now content creators and social media have eyes on this, it brings another level of accountability that they weren't expecting. They thought that this was going to be another just, oh, I think he drowned, an accident or undetermined. No, people are waking up and seeing when something just does not sit right. All people are asking is to do a thorough investigation. How come there have been no arrests made? Now that we're hearing that Nolan is on a boat and people are asking, is he dead? Why haven't there been no arrests made? Where are the reports? Where's the police? If the MDMR has their incident report, where is the Jackson County Sheriff's Department's report? Where's all of the information? Okay, talking about they took lie detector tests. Okay, what questions did they ask them for the lie detector test? I don't believe they called Javon for the mom's number. They had Nolan's phone, and that's where they got the number from. Okay, let's say you better clock it. Nothing but a deflection. Yes. I just want to know, why is Officer Tatum believing everything these boys are telling him? He wants to believe it. Regardless of whether it's true or not, I believe he wants to believe it. See, some people will purposely go to the opposite side of the majority just to bring a group with them. He might not even believe what they're saying, but because it will bring a group of people that think a certain type of way over there, then that's why a lot of people do things. I've seen that happen. He left at noon because he said he got into a fight, so his uncle took him back. So why Tracy running his mouth to be prove his loyalty and to be in a certain group? He's trying to comfort Nolan's spot. Chaba. Nolan was already dead before 4, so somewhere between 2 and 3. If they don't get locked up, the next 2 victims could very well be Javon or Tracy. I have a feeling. All these cover-ups that have been done over the years are now being exposed, yeah, and will continue to be exposed. Right. Moving in darkness, even with mom, was involved that night before anyone knew what happened to Nolan. Why? Because they knew. In my opinion, they know what happened to Nolan. But see, every day, y'all, if you notice, as we read through things and things are being revealed, it's knocking out the whole cover up. It's putting holes in it. So that's why it's taking more time. Okay, now we got to come up with something for this. Now we got to come up with something for this because they're finding this out. Okay, so now they're finding out y'all connecting. Can't say y'all don't know each other. So it's like, I don't know. Oh, shoot. Hold on, y'all. I just don't know. They better explain the audio before they try to frame anyone. Well, the whole thing with the audio now, y'all, is, hey, Catherine, good morning. Now it is to try to discredit the audio and the people who separated the background and the main with the whole combined part, right? So it is to counter what we know we heard with our ears, is to go against it. Oh, let's just say people are lying. Oh, that's not real. Oh, that's AI. Oh, we don't hear that. Oh, let's talk about the person who separated it. Let's, it's crazy. It just makes it even more obvious, in my opinion, of what's happening. The more you fight against it, the more you try to fight against truth, it makes it even more obvious what is at play. if that makes sense. Okay, the more resistance we're getting, it shows you're trying to hide something. The truth is not hard by itself. The truth just comes out naturally. You don't have to fight against the truth. It should just come out naturally. Yeah. Where's Lainey? Okay, shout out to 5K Creations. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a sponsor today. Remember when they were allegedly seen out eating and were questioned why? They answered, people think we did it anyway. Did what? Exactly. Nolan was just missing at the time. No one knew he was dead except them. Uh-oh. Clock it. Tatum is foolish because they see his character. They're just using him to carry out their agenda. But outside of that, they know a man that will go against his own is truly no good. Ooh. Yeah, lock them all up. That bogus call. And I ain't going to say, I won't even say lock them all up. What I will say is there needs to be due diligence to bring in at least the ones whose names, the people okay, that were on that boat, question them and get to the bottom of what happened. Whoever took a hand, allegedly, if there's foul play, because I truly feel it is, it has to be proven, and bring those people in and arrest them. Okay, but at this point, y'all, with this information, where have they gone with it? We clearly hear other people in the background. We've heard names, and we hear Nolan's name. And is he dead? That's enough to bring people in for questioning. Now, who's going to flip first? Tell what really happened? XYZ, love. That's on y'all. Okay, y'all better get to talking. Yes, right. That's evidence. Distractions. What happened to Nolan's shirt and shoes? Ooh, where is his stuff? Diverted from that phone call. Yeah, she got it from the agency. Yes, FOIA request. And I heard it on her channel first. It's like how this call was released almost a week ago, and it took a few days before people saying there are things in the background. I think, in my opinion on that, is we were focused on what was being said. And I think when someone played the entire call, there were things being said while on hold that a lot of people had not heard before, because I hadn't heard music. There was music playing too. The whole music. I hadn't heard that. We had heard it from when the call started, not the time, the dead air time while they were holding. That's why a lot of people didn't. So then when we're listening to, we're trying to hear what Wyatt is saying to the lady. Like we're hearing of this whole bilge pump trying to prove, well, was he really? So we listened to that. And it wasn't until, it's some stuff being actually said in the background is when I think people really started honing in on the background part. Because if you go back and listen to those dispatch calls, it was being said in the background. Okay, but nobody was really hearing it clearly until that dead air was being played before she picked up. They went in his phone on the boat and they murked him. They all looking at your channel and all the other YouTubers because y'all all have good info and questions and reading their lives. If something happens to Nolan on that boat, then how did he make it to the pool party later that night? Well, I don't know if that pool party was that same day. I know that Warren said allegedly it was another pool party that night, but they're saying that picture was from the week before. So I don't know. Right, Amelia. Does his throat have the truth? That's a good point. Hey, Shelly. Hey, sis. Thank you for tapping in. Let's see. Voices were heard on the call. Right, but Brandy, the thing of it is they have their own experts. How come they're not letting their own experts look into that call? All they have, and then what my thing is this. So y'all thinking the MDMR people are lying? They give out false information or fake videos? You're questioning that whole agency when you do things like that. That you can go to their website and get the audio. So are y'all saying that the Marine Department, they are lying? Like, come on. Does that, I mean, what are we doing? We questioning agencies, their authenticity of their recordings and so forth? Oh, okay. But we can't question sheriff's departments and judges and things like that. Okay. Okay. I guess that's how it goes. Nolan has been deemed an honorable friend. Why would you not assist? Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't even tell what was in the lungs. Was it accidental drowning? Because see, that's the thing. Why isn't the call reliable, Neo? Are you saying that you don't believe an agency? A whole agency has released that. It wasn't released by content creators. We are sharing it. So what do you mean it isn't reliable? They need to get to the bottom of what those teens are talking about on there. They're saying Nolan's name, and I thought Nolan wasn't on the boat. Right, exactly, Detective London. Yes. Javon said he saw Nolan last on the island after 4 p.m. Yeah, he did. Yeah. And then he also said when he went to go check on Nolan, I don't know what would have had happened or what had happened, but he said the boat had left. Right, Brandy. They released it to prove the boat breaking down and didn't think about the background. Exactly, Marcy. Yeah. He said it was a pool party the night of the 4th in his interview with Tatum. However, they are saying the photo of the pool party was from a week earlier. Yes. I don't believe it was an accident. BB said that ME has been falsifying autopsies for years. Yes. We did a whole breakdown of her in some of the cases. Yeah. They know if she's exposed, yes, okay, the rest of the players will fall. The call has been altered. What do you mean altered, Neo? Altered how? You mean someone just miraculously added some people in there calling him no, different voices? Like, who has time to do that? See, when people say things like that, it makes me think that's how folks would do or think. They think of doing stuff like that. Like, come on. What would be the point of putting out a fake audio of it, them saying no, and oh my God, Nolan, you have different voices. I could see if it was one person's voice. Those kids' parents know their kids' voices. They can tell if that was their child on there saying those things. You think they're going to come out and tell on them? No, they're not going to come say anything. I don't care what nobody say. The audio. Yeah, he is. Oh, that's why she asking how many. What's going on? Great. They can't change my mind. I mean, some for it, I don't fall for it. If I heard it with my ears, child, and I know where it came from, yeah, they didn't even know. Wendy, there's a lot of child. Hey, CapEx, you said they need to get a hold of old girl who had the pool party on the 4th because if it's who I'm thinking, then that's from ME speculating. She's the one who's offering. Oh, uh-oh. And see, the officer Tatum said he knows who it was. I wonder who is it. He talking about he gonna tell the police. Okay. Okay. I wonder. Well, I thought they said at Ava's house. Was it the pool party on the 4th? Did he give a name? We heard the voices on audio call when it was first released. We just couldn't make out all of what was said until now. Exactly the highest praise. Right. Man, this is so sad and messed up. The sheriff and the governor judge are connected in deep ways. And whose mom? Let's see. Oh my God. mom was appointed by the governor. We were talking about it. Was it Bart's mom? One of the mothers was, she's on the board, and she was appointed by the governor. I was like, wow, this thing here, they're all connected in some way. The boat that took J Bun also said they viewed Nolan on the island sometime around 4:30. But do y'all remember they put the audio out first as an alibi? No, I don't remember that. Yes, she is. I believe that they did something, and because they have powerful parents, that they can make stuff disappear. It was the parents' responsibility to make their children accountable for their actions. I figured out a while ago, a lot of these law enforcement agencies are corrupt. Like if you search drugs, busts across states, Bradley, okay. What do you think they did, Richard? And who handed over the phone? She's involved in a previous unaliving case that the parents got thrown out. You know what, Cap X? Y'all, something we have not touched on or heard is whose house did they pick up the phone from, or apartment? Whose house or apartment? A name I don't believe has been stated. Yeah, but they're saying that picture was a week before. The girlfriend's house. Yes. Was that Ava, the pool party? The amount of people pushing the other narrative is wild. It's like they just don't want to be wrong. Right. Ian said the Marine Agency is leaking to expose Jackson County. Okay. Especially knowing Christine has subpoena and lawyers at their door. The boat left and never seen Nolan after that. Right. Warren said his girlfriend Ava house. He said he was inside talking to. Okay, so we know that part. Okay. Miss Dee said since Bart did that to Nolan, Katie was an ex of Say, and Bart was not having it. Remember when he said who had the most to gain from his death? It is Bart. He's hoping to go to the NFL. Now, but he plays in a different, doesn't he play in a different state? I did say who would have benefited from him not being here as far as the sports side. Who's trying to get in a certain position? Who has a stake in that could have possibly had a stake? You know what I'm saying? Just as we are thinking through things, theories, these are not anything proven, but he did make it to that Monday. Okay. A very significant time in his life, something that was about to change in his life for the good. It was going to put him in another category. Okay. If audio is not considered credible, then audio should never, ever be used again to convict someone. Exactly. Right. Tatum doing the interview actually really helped in many ways. I'm a very righteous man. I would never waver on that there's a lot of cover up going on. That grand jury does not need to be there. If that county, they need to take it to a different county. Okay. I don't know if that was true. I haven't found any evidence of that, of them dating. Like a week into this, something came out. I remember exactly what, but the same day, a short version of that same audio came out. Oh, okay. Miss Dee. I think their kids may know too much about their dirty secrets, so they have to stay in their good graces. Oh, not Bart Simpson. Okay, so Ava had the other party, okay, on the 4th. Exactly. This is what I was saying, UBN Nation. I was saying that earlier when someone brought up, oh, they're offering $125,000 reward. That, you know what that is the sad part of it. Why is it that people have to offer money just to get the truth, just to get some clues. That's not even really the full truth, but some information that could lead to arrests and convictions. Why is it that people have to put up money? That should be if everyone loved Nolan and were his best friends, you would come out and tell the truth of what really happened to Nolan. No one shouldn't have to pay anything for the truth. Right, Cap X. A lot of jealousy. And I don't know if that was really Katie. I'm gonna be honest. That picture, I looked at the pictures of Katie and that girl, and they don't favor to me. And someone put under a comment a different girl that looked more like her. So I'm not gonna even put my stamp on that because I don't know if that's Katie in that photo. Right, Brandy. Okay. Because this is a high profile case, I feel all states should be involved when it comes down to their conviction because this has gone nationwide. I agree. Money talks literally. Okay. That's true. That's true. This is so sad and unfortunate. You know what? I was trying to, we were asking that yesterday when we were watching his interview. What is a death gift? I don't know what that is. We don't give that in our culture. Speak for myself. In my culture, well, I don't know the death gift, child. We might bake a cake for the repast and eat some fried chicken. Have some fun, at the repast. But child, unless somebody donate flowers for the funeral, giving some cards or signing the book, I don't know what no death gift is. Okay. Or some money to help the family get food throughout the week. What's a death gift? His funeral was already paid for. Sometimes people need to have money to relocate themselves and their families once they tell, yes, I would be putting my house up for sale now, child. Of course, I would still be working on, his case and in the background with what I need to do, but we would be hell and tail up out of there. I would not stay at that place. No way. Okay, Ava's. Okay. They said it wasn't her mom 80s. Got you. What makes a suspect they're quick to label accidental drowning on black teens, right? Just a step under claiming black teens are ending things by hanging. Yeah. We were having that conversation last night. It's becoming a pattern, y'all. If you pay attention to these last cases, I mean, even Ashley Janae, they're trying to say she was depressed and hung herself. Daniel Irvin, they're saying accidental drowning when boys took his phone, threw his clothes up in a tree on the bridge. Who else? Tyrone Davis, they're saying he jumped out of a moving vehicle. Trey Reed, they're saying he hung himself. The other lady in Florida, they said she hung herself. Like, come on now. It's becoming the new thing. How can we make this look like an accident? Right, we bring some food, child. Okay. We might bring some sodas. Okay, who's responsible for the sodas? Who's bringing the bread and rolls and stuff? But I don't know what no death gifts are. I also think, what does it mean to you that these boys are calling for help for a boat and not get Nolan medical attention? That should tell everything you need to know about all those on board. Exactly. And then, okay. Now remember, and I'm gonna get off in a little bit, y'all. Hold on, where is my picture? Okay. Now remember, Officer Tatum showed that video. He said, "Oh, the boys, they were close up, to everybody during that time when they were making that call." But did they know that someone was taking this photo from a distance? I don't know who took this photo, but it looked like it's similar. We know that looks like Bart's boat. We compared that to a photo that's on his dad's page. And this boy in the blue shorts looks like the same shorts as in the other picture. But notice this is from a different angle. What are they all looking at? We can't see on the other side of that when they're joined together. We don't know what's inside of those boats. They're away from the people on this shot. So just like you can show a video and show and pan it that at that time they were close to other people, we can also show this photo and say, well, this was a shot of someone taking a picture of them out in the water and we don't know what had happened. Okay. See how that works? Because what's this about? So I was gonna be some fried chicken and some green beans. Okay. Yes, they're doing negative reviews on her page, right? Hey, my dudes, she said some people give money to help lessen the burden after losing someone, but I never heard of a death gift. Right. That's what Tristan said on his interview, that he gave the family a death gift. I don't know what that is. Right, sneakers. Because if we gonna call this picture AI, we gotta call Officer Tatum's picture AI. Y'all see how that works? Because let me show you. So that means that this picture AI, that's the same boy. That's the same boy, blue shorts, just a different angle. Y'all see that? So who took this one? That's Bart's boat. We compared that boat. Let me show you. See, someone went into his father's pictures the other day before his father privated his pictures. Okay. And this picture his father has shared. This is a real picture. This is not AI. This is on his father's, under his father's photos before he privated his page. Doesn't that boat that's on, is Bart's boat helping them? What are they doing? What are they looking at? What got their attention? Same guy. Blue shorts. Bart's boat. Two boats together. Who took this picture? He called it a death gift, girl. I wonder why there are so few pictures, but none of them have thousands of people in the background of multiple boats. Right. Oh, he tried it. Boats have cameras too. Hey, Bunny. Right. Exactly, Elle. What were they doing? I don't know. Tristan sounds very much like a sinister person. Something about his aura in the interview. Yeah. Hey, brown-eyed girl, welcome. I wouldn't take a death gift. I ain't never heard that. He did say that. Right. How can a pig debunk an audio? That's what I said. You can't make me believe anything different. Child out. I know what I heard. Well, y'all, that was all that we had on today. Shout out to the mods in the building. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for just hanging out with me at the end of the call. We just was just talking at the end, you know. Also, I want to welcome T Lady Boogie as a member. Also, shout out to the sponsors today: Sharon, Detective London, T Lady Boogie, Tim, Butterfly Empress, KG Summer Mommy, Linda, Danita. Also, special thanks to the Highest Point for gifting 5 memberships: Shamika, Karen Michelle, 5K Creations, and my dudes. Come on through with the clutch, my dudes. I appreciate that, sis. She said they want to claim everything is AI except when it co-signs their narrative. I can't stand begging to be YT Tatum. Okay, baby, my dudes didn't come to play. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Oh my God. Yes, thank you for the support. I bet Vicky heard the background and said, not today after seeing the coverage. Oh, I know. that lady, that operator, I want to know her thoughts. I wish we could find her. Because what are you thinking now that all of this has came out and that Nolan was actually on that boat and hearing what she heard? Like, what did she hear? I want to hear her side because she thought they were all playing. You remember that? But and then when she talked to the other guy, the captain, and heard his side, like I would love to sit down on during an interview with her. I want to hear her thoughts. Yes, highest point. She gifted that. Welcome 5K Creations as a new open book member. You are already family, but now you are a member. I must say, all the nefarious, sinister, so-called elite in Mississippi have raised their ugly, hateful heads and asses. The psychotherapists are putting on the psychopath list. Yep, connected their boats. She asks, is everyone alive? Exactly. I think she heard something. I would love to interview her, child, and see what are her thoughts now, knowing that Nolan is dead. What does she think about all of that right now? Baby, they better protect that lady at all costs. She may have to be a witness at the trial if it gets to that point. Officer Tatum pick has different color clothes on than the boys in the picture. I've heard that. They have different swim trunks on from the picture that they have with Nolan. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Now, remember, somebody told us, was it the girl? I'm trying to remember because we've heard so much, y'all. And I can't remember who said it, but someone said that girl, well, it was some more people that were on that boat that were not in the photo. Do y'all remember that? So we don't know who all was not in the photo with the three boys and Nolan, because that were on the boat. You see what I'm saying? I forgot who said that. If they get a call recording from the person who called dispatch, you will get the full dialogue clear 4K. Right. Mississippi ain't gonna do nothing. They let Brett Favre steal all those millions and did nothing. That was in Mississippi. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a lots of people breathing. You think they purposely released it? The MDMR, they probably mad trying to get their lick back because they kicked them off the case. Talking about y'all can assist. Who you trying to owe this? Who you trying to owe this? Okay, David Ruffin. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Okay, let's line them up and build a case of who's connected to who and their involvement in Nolan's death and cover up the highest to the lowest. Yes, exactly, Bradley. Right. Yes, because why would she ask that? I understand asking, is everyone okay? Any injuries? But to ask, is everyone alive is odd. Come on now. You better clock it. Oh, wow. Who took that? That's what I want to know, your love. I want to know who took that picture. Oh, you know what? She brings up a good point. Where's the Palm Beach boat? Come on now. Where's the third boat that they went out there with? Because he did say there was a Palm Beach. Where's that boat? So y'all not all going back together? You better clock it. We ain't never talked about that. What happened to the third boat? Okay, right. Karen Michelle, she said the MDMR said checkmate. Okay, baby, they putting out incident reports, audios, receipts, a driver's license, boat registration. Okay, they said checkmate. I bet y'all won't go clown them. I bet y'all not gonna go and tell them, oh, y'all stuff fake. Y'all out here releasing AI photos and documents. That stuff fake. I bet y'all not gonna go over there and tell them that. Okay, who gonna go and check the MDMR and tell them that their audio is AI and fake? I want y'all to go and give them all that energy that y'all giving to the channels. Go over there and tell them y'all stuff fake. Ain't nobody gonna do that. They rather just mess with the content creators and all of that. Say everybody lying. Oh, you read about them freaks putting Javon on the boat and Nolan unalive by Bart. Who said that? Or said the Palm. Interesting. I need to go hear about that. Shout out to Alicia. Thank you for the jewels and for being a sponsor. That Palm Beach boat is likely the boat I'm thinking so, because remember they did say Javon them met up over there. It was like 20 to 30 people out on 3 boats, the Triton, Tide Line, and the Palm Beach. Who all was on the Palm Beach? And then what time did the Palm Beach go back? That's something key right there we have not thought through. Okay, I don't think I've thought that through. All right, so we're gonna see. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It is for free. Also, don't forget to hype up the video. Shout out to the replay gang that's watching the replay. And also, if you are not subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you all so much for joining, and have a blessed day. Until next time. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.